welcome to the show, Ken Stauffer from Oceansographer on Instagram. How are we doing today, Ken?
Doing great, Pete. How about yourself?
Really good, thanks, mate. Well, we've just done a wrap on a podcast episode where you've walked us through the shirts of Anto, the history, what it's like, the customer experience. You've got some things to show us, some shirts, some unboxing. So I'll just throw it over to you. What you got in your hands there?
Oh, yeah. Let me show you some stuff. We'll start with the Anto things. And for anybody that doesn't know me or know my account, Oceansographer, basically I'm the world's biggest Ocean's 11 fan. And I collect or try to replicate different clothes and props and things. Anyway, we're going to start here with a recent order that I just got from Anto. Open there, you see the beautiful
Nice.
round box. And what I had made this time around were some shirts from the Ocean's films, of course. I'm trying to remember.
Are you wearing a shirt from the Ocean's films already?
Oh, yeah. Actually, this is the shirt that that Clooney wears in the pool scene where they recruit Elliot Gould,
Yes.
where he and Brad Pitt, over Peace Swap. This shirt here, actually same location in Palm Springs. When he's at the TV and he's going through the plotting of the the Bellagio vault heist, it's basically like kind of a bluish silver with a little bit of a pattern there. You can see.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like a Royal Oxford. One really nice thing that Anto does is a custom label for each client. You see there my initials, Ken Stauffer.
Love that.
And the date of purchase. So beautiful, beautiful work. If you look back at like a shirt they make for like Leonardo DiCaprio, it's LD, it's the KS. It's kind of like typesetting. They just have them all ready to go.
That's real cool. I love that. I've got time for that.
And yeah, I've got a number of Anto shirts here on the rack. And let me just grab one here to show you some of the kind of intricacies of what they did on that film. So this is kind of a box pattern. There you can see. This is a replica of this shirt that Danny Ocean, the Clooney wears in the dinner scene with Julia Roberts, where he interrupts
Garcia,
Andy Garcia. It's a wide mitered cuff. These beautiful mother of pearl buttons, always from Anto.
Sorry, Ken. Show us that cuff close up.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, so that's the cuff that he wears pretty much on all of his shirts. Is that right?
In the Ocean's films, for the majority of the time, yeah. Just a one-button mitered cuff with a very wide gap.
I've got to tell you, I'm gravitating to that cuff more and more these days.
Oh yeah,
because I've got one from my For Your Eyes Only shirt from Frank Foster, and I've gone for the mitered cuff. Before that, it's always been cocktail cuffs because being gone nuts, we've got to go for cocktail cuffs. As good as they look and as elegant as they are a big faff. I mean,
there's so much material. Every time you got to shoot the cuff, sometimes every time.
I like it for screen accuracy, but for practicality, it's always got to be a cuff like that for me now.
Yeah. And let me show you this, because this is one thing that I've only ever seen them do. Obviously, when you get a bespoke shirt, you customize the cuff, the collar, whatever, and what works for your face and, what your personal preference. But I've never seen anybody actually offer different collar bands. So this is a particularly high collar band on this shirt. But the most interesting thing is this, it's kind of mitered as well. There's a corner on it. I've only seen that from their shirts. Clooney has it on a lot of his Ocean's shirts. Bradley Cooper has it in Limitless. Obviously, the shirt has to be open at the neck for you to see it, but it's an interesting little feature. And let me just show you a couple other things I have. I actually do have one screen-used costume I want to show off here.
Get it on.
This is one that Casey Affleck wore in the film. He's supposed to be, a balloon delivery boy. Very common job in Las Vegas, balloon delivery boy. The best part is probably the back. You don't really see this joke in the film.
Blow me, yeah.
Yeah. And there is actually the tag from Warner Brothers.
Nice.
A lot of his stuff, remember, he's supposed to be a Mormon, from Utah. So it's kind of got like a Western feel to it. You see that lasso effect on it. So it came with this giant Stetson hat.
Very, very, mate, you rock that.
Yeah, well, oddly, this hat is a little too big and this shirt's a little too small. This is like 34 to 36. So these don't get out much.
Have they got out at all?
I think maybe I wore this once in college.
Right.
I've had it for many years now.
Because you don't want to get, I mean, it being yellow and all, if you get something on that, it's game over, right?
Well, that's the thing. There's actually some stains on here
It
that
came
came
with it.
from Warner Brothers.
That's,
So
how did you get hold of it? Was it an auction?
yeah, they auctioned off a few costumes right after the film. And I missed out on it then, but it went back up on eBay about maybe a year and a half later, and I snatched it up. There was less excitement around the movie then, so
Nice.
yeah,
Any excitement around? Oh, before you get to the next one, any excitement around a new Ocean's film? Have we got any rumors?
yeah, so I would love to see the original cast come back. A few of them have talked about that. Don Cheadle, Steven Soderbergh, they say they've been in talks about it. Damon said he'd come back. Clooney is making movies with Pitt and Julia Roberts right now. Everybody seems to be very friendly. It seems like maybe. But in the meantime, Margot Robbie is signed on to do a prequel movie set in the 1960s in the Ocean franchise. My guess is that to work Ocean into the title, she's got to be playing Danny Ocean's mother, right?
Okay.
That character was born in like 1963, so
that makes sense.
You know.
Was she in the Ocean's 11? That was an all-female lineup.
Oh, the Ocean's 8. No, she wasn't in that one. No.
Oh, okay.
So it's a new character.
All right. Okay. What did you think of Ocean's 8?
Honestly, the films kind of decrease in quality as they go along. The first one is a masterpiece. 12 is very fun, and then 13 is a little repetitive, and 8 is it's not as good. It's a solid movie, but it's
I think
on a rainy day.
They've got to move the casino out of Vegas. I don't know. I just feel like they've got to put a casino on a boat or something. And it's I don't know. There's got to be an element of jeopardy where it's not everyone's just chainsawing their way through the power grid main line under a sewer somewhere. You know,
exactly.
Okay, come on, let's do something. Sorry, I digress. What else have we got in there?
Oh, yeah, sure. Now, I'm obviously a big Bond fan as well, and I know most of your listeners are. So I want to show up here. Let me start here. In the first film, every film had a different costume designer. Jeffrey Kurland did the first film, and he used his tailor back then. It was Dominic Girardi. He's retired now. He's moved on to Dennis Kim. But the first film, Dominic Girardi, he tailored these suits with these. This was 2001, so you're coming off the 90s, and he'd worked on movies like Face Off. He worked on Titanic. And his suits have these very wide, like horsehair, like really reinforced shoulders with a big, shoulder extension. No vent on this. What do you call it? Bees and pockets, 3-button cuff. Very kind of like, 1940s, 1950s kind of feel to it. Really just incredible shoulders.
Where did you get yours from?
That was a replica I had made. I actually at that time it was easier to get in touch with Jeffrey Kurland, and you could have him do a little design work for you for a price. And I had that made bespoke here in New York many years ago. And so as we move on, like in 12, it was Melina Canonero. She's won Oscar. She's a great costume designer. She brought in like off the rack suits to the group. So in that film, you see Clooney in just a couple of Tom Ford Gucci suits before Tom Ford had moved out on his own. And this is actually screen accurate to the next film, Ocean's 13, where the Gucci suits and the Tom Ford cut were inherited by Louise Frogley. And they're distinctive because of this 5-button cuff, these 4-inch wide lapels, flat pockets. This chocolate brown suit here is actually 75% wool, 25% mohair. And if you start to look at it, a year later, Ocean's 13 was 2007. A year later, you have Quantum of Solace. It's not too dissimilar. Obviously, it's a wider lapel, but it's not too dissimilar from the Bolivia suit that. So I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought she's like the unsung hero of the Bond world, Louise Frogley. I think because.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she brought Tom Ford into the franchise. I've probably written that down somewhere. Maybe it's in the book. Who knows? But
yeah,
the way she not only brought Tom Ford in or had Tom Ford do the suits, it was kind of left to the Tom Ford and Daniel Craig fit rather than what we saw later on, which was moving away from the typical Tom Ford look. Am
Mhm,
I
mhm.
am I kind of on the? Do you think that's the same thing with them?
Yeah, I think it might have been a confluence of thought. I think Craig is obviously a big fan of Tom Ford, but I don't know if that started with her involvement or he was already a fan. It did seem like before Quantum came out that they were talking about using Dunhill for a while, and then it switched to Tom Ford. And I'm not sure if that was because of Frogley or Craig or really
Mm.
where it came from. But
Well, I know
something
that
for the next book.
Craig was fed up with Brioni because he didn't like the fit of
Yeah,
Casino Royale,
yeah.
and I
They
know
do
he,
look kind of. They do kind of swallow him up a bit.
but
You
he
know.
also wasn't a. Again, this is all conjecture, but he wasn't too enamored with Lindy Hemming's approach to putting him in Brioni. So Brioni,
Mm,
fine, but make it more of a Slim Jim Brioni, not the full
yeah.
cut Brioni. So I guess with Lindy Hemming out of the way, Brioni out of the way, it's just open season, and I guess a new costume designer is going to come in, and if she's already got the experience with Tom Ford, then it's just going to be a shoe in, right?
Yeah, well, thank you.
You think so?
Yeah. um, I know we're running low on time here, and I know
Sure,
that we
yeah.
could
Yeah, let's have a look.
both watch it.
He's waiting.
In the
Oh, get
Casino
those up
Vault.
close. Get those up
Oh,
close.
sure. Yeah. So this is a Hamilton Linwood Pneumatic from the early 2000s. I've actually got a couple of these. He wears these in 11 and 12. And this
Oh,
here is
what?
a more
Clooney wears
casual
those.
watch. What's that?
Clooney wears those in 11.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
in both. And the Luminox, I think it's a 3901. This is actually strapped on like a blood pressure cuff. Honestly, it's um, it's got a micro tubes in it, so it doesn't require outside light to glow in the dark. It just always glows. It's a pretty neat
Ah,
kind of. I think the Navy SEALs use them for years. It's a neat tactical watch. She and Damon both wear these as they're getting ready to rob the vault.
mate, get that up closer. I want to see the dial
Oh,
face.
yeah, sure
Let's have a
thing.
look at that.
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
And
it.
these are pretty inexpensive. You can find them for I think maybe like 250, $300.
Okay, that's accessible. That's pretty
And
cool.
again, because they issue them to the government, they're you can find them a lot of places. There's a lot of them
They're
anywhere.
around.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rare are these my little Oceans collection of sunglasses here. All of
Very
these
cool.
are screen accurate, none are screen worn. Most of these Persols here, like these are the Persols that Clooney wears in throughout 11. And he wears a similar frame in 12 and 13. Matt Damon actually wears the same frame in 12 as well. But these, I think you might like. These are Brad Pitt's style of Oliver Peoples that he wears at the end of Ocean's 11 with that snakeskin shirt. Um,
Oh, that's so cool.
and there are photos of him wearing them in his personal life too. He's a big Oliver Peoples fan. I think we all know.
Nice. I love that. Ken, you've got so much cool stuff there, mate. I'm so glad that I'm so happy for you that you've got it all because I think, well, I'll tell you what, some people might have hobbies where they get into films, get into clothes, and then they might put it aside for a while. They might move house,
Yeah, yeah.
or they might hit hard times. I could probably
Mhm,
do with selling a couple of sunglasses, maybe a watch or two, right? But
mhm.
you've not only gone out, sourced it, bought it, but you've kept it, and now you can
Yeah.
really dig in it and report on it and enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it's funny, Pete. So, like, the first one came out, I was near the end of high school, and then the sequels came out when I was in college, and you have a lot of downtime, and this is before like streaming or anything. So I watched those DVDs. I wore them out, you know, and a lot of what I know now, and a lot of what I write about, on my page and on Bam Style about the Ocean's films, it's knowledge I've had for like 15, 20
Yeah,
years.
but now
Uh,
there's like the internet, right? There's an outlet.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's a platform for that.
And I would say I definitely fell off, like any other fandom. And I kind of got back into it during the lockdown in 2020. You rediscover your passions, and mine is, collecting suits from the early 2000s. So.
I love that. Love that. Listen, we're running out of time on the Zoom call. It's a shame because otherwise we'd be talking to the early hours, I expect. But Ken, thanks so much for taking us through your collection, taking time out of your day. Oceansographer is the place where people can keep up with you and your journey. And do come back on. Have you got any more orders coming in?
Not at the moment, but I got to head out to LA soon, so I'll talk to the Ancho folks then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, pal. Take care of yourself.
Take care, Pete. Talk to you again soon.